Look at that. That must be a construction worker. I didn't see. He might be using the medium. Is he
He's
using
using he's using like a tube.
Yeah.
It's pretty small. It's pretty bad.
He's
It's not
using my
even.
grandma's sledgehammer.
Somebody wrote, "Are you trying to tickle the tire? You're doing a great job." Now, I will say, I'm going to say something positive. This is the most socially active thing I've seen in boxing.
Oh, I told you, Lee. Yes, sir.
At 25,000 views, this is the most socially active thing I have ever seen in my entire, like, literally, Andre Ward couldn't get this much activity on an HBO documentary. Chavez hitting a tire like he's a child is getting more, like, it's so great just watching it again and again. You can hear it in the background.
Yes, sir.
With the music.
Look at that.
Oh, there
That's thunder.
Hit it, son. Come on,
thunder,
son.
baby. You don't know that, Lee.
Switch arms. Come on, son.
Don't underestimate him. You guys are underestimating the legendary son. I'm going to be there with all my money, Lee.
Dude, it's so funny to watch every time. I'm sorry.
They got to put him on a heavy bag. He needs to listen to his dad. I know they're bringing in Nacho. Nacho this week, Lee. Hey, see, he responded to you. Did you see that? Yes. Lee was pissed. Yes. I mean, Nacho was pissed off about media members saying he was in it for the money. Lee, have you seen one story in the American side that said Nacho was in this for the money?
You mean besides us?
I'm saying besides you. I didn't say
besides
that.
Besides me specifically, I have not heard. Which really disturbs me on a whole level that I can't even begin to discuss.
Now Lee, let's not get too far. We don't want the fans to think we're all BS. Maybe it comes from the Mexican journalists. But I'm telling you right now.
By the way, I track most of those on Twitter.
I'm telling you right now, Lee, I haven't heard that one time on our side except from you, and Nacho responds this week with that's BS.
This would be the equivalent of me saying before the fight, hey, I think Manny Pacquiao has a hurt shoulder based on the way he's training. I bet it'll come out after the fight. And then right after the fight, them going, hey, Pacquiao had a hurt shoulder. Somebody else would take credit for it. So that's fine.
And like, Lee, listen. Maybe it was in someone's story that didn't have it in the title. I'm not saying I read every article that's posted every week.
No, but those things.
But there was nothing. Look,
I follow Twitter. I follow Twitter a lot.
There has been nothing in the titles that say Nacho in it for the money. I have not seen one thing. So I was laughing when Nacho responded. So yeah.
So what's the title of the show? Nacho's really in it for the money, and Chavez smuggles pot in lime.
No, tennis balls. Pot in tennis balls, man.
Tennis balls. Lime's caught, moves to tennis balls.
You know, the guy was like, what? Those are limes. What?
Those are limes, man. Like, when you look at the photo, you've got to see the photo, Andrew. It's like...
Hey. I got Chavez late, Lee. I'm going for Chavez late. Not only, man, as this fight gets closer. Oh, boy.
Andrew, we have a special guest in the studio today.
What are we doing?
I didn't want to do this. But we also have a special guest for those of you who listen to Fight Net Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Mr. Teddy Atlas. Andrew, how are you doing?
Oh, he made news. How's it going, Teddy?
And Andrew, I wrote an article this week.
Yes, sir.
For ESPN as an analyst. And I used some criteria that most people don't use. I looked at their talent. I looked at their technique. I looked at their time and consistency, the competition and how good it was, and then something nobody takes into account, Andrew. Would you like to know what that is? Slippage. You know, like your transmission. Slippage. That thing.
Very good. Oh.
I knew that Mike Tyson was going to lose when he was going to lose. You want to know why? He's like a bad transmission. He had slippage.
Okay.
So Andrew, I'm going to give you my top 10 list. It doesn't make any sense to anybody but me.
That is
true.
And
I'm going to start at the very bottom of my card. If I had honorable mention, Andrew, that's a tough word for a guy who's got a stroke and a slow eye.
You're terrible. I'm sorry to hear that, Teddy. You're terrible, Lee.
Andrew.
Yes.
I put Gennady Golovkin as honorable mention. Here's why. The guy doesn't fight anybody, Andrew.
I'm sorry, Teddy, that I disagree with you on your first honorable mention there. I don't know. We started off on a bad foot here.
Andrew, Andrew, I also want to include one more name. Mikey Garcia. Sure, he just fought recently, and sure, he fought really, really spectacularly. But you know what? It's on that PVC bullshit.
Yeah, I agree with
you. So
it
wasn't really a real fight. So I'm going to put him right with Gennady Golovkin. They're both has-beens, right on the cusp.
Yeah, I don't know, Teddy. Triple G sure had a lot of buyouts. I don't know. He's had like $3 million of guys just not wanting to fight him. It's kind of hard saying he hasn't fought anyone when he has that behind him. Sergio Martinez, Miguel Cotto, Canelo. Canelo gave him his belt, Teddy. He just gave it to him.
Andrew, slippage. Andrew, this voice scares cats.
I don't understand how Canelo could come in number 8 when he gave his title to Triple G, Teddy. It just makes no sense. Kind of throws your whole list off.
Andrew, slippage.
Another thing I don't understand. I'm going to ask.
Right,
let me ask.
Andrew,
can I ask you?
Andrew, because clearly you don't know boxing like
me. I know.
Did you know I stuck a gun in Mike Tyson's face? Do you know that?
Yes, you did. Yes.
I'll do it to you. Andrew, do you know this voice scares the shit out of cats? They just squeal out of the room. Andrew, number 10. A guy you may know. Errol Spence Jr. Why? Because I got paid.
Yeah, clearly. Clearly got paid on that one. Spence, unlike Triple G, has a lot of people gunning for him. They just haven't signed a fight. Triple G doesn't have that problem, Lee. There's not a lot of fighters out there going, here's the contract, sign it, and we'll get it on. Spence has a fight in the UK right now they're still trying to negotiate through. I don't know what the problem is. Brooke is the champ. Brooke is the ticket seller. Brooke is the known fighter internationally. What negotiating are we doing? Or is someone trying to pause on the fight?
Andrew.
Yes.
Andrew.
Yes.
I have to make sure to get some of that Brooklyn in there, too, with the gargling of the glass. Andrew. Number 9. My favorite fighter. Manny Pacquiao.
Not top.
I'm not going by competition on this one. I just strictly like the kid.
It clearly shows. It clearly shows putting him at number 9 over Triple G.
He's not the same quality fighter. That's enough said. I don't get paid by HBO.
He's not even the best in his division.
I don't get paid by Top Rank. I don't get paid by HBO. Look at the numbers. Slippage. I'm just going to say catchphrases because that's the only thing that makes sense for this list. Number 8, Canelo Alvarez.
Weird.
Clearly, he should be over Triple G because he gave Triple G the belt.
He's that good, huh? Is that how?
Slippage.
Maybe that's how you're taking it, Teddy. He was that good where he didn't even need to fight him. Here, just take the title. I'll move on. I get it.
Hold on. Let me do catchphrases. Hold on. Talent. Technique. Consistency. No slippage. Competition. How'd I do?
Well, I don't know. He's lost to some of his competition, Teddy. Triple G's undefeated.
Number 7. Guillermo Rigondeaux.
Can't argue.
Clearly, I'm getting paid for that.
No. I can't argue, Teddy. I'll give you that one. I give you that.
He's number 10. I know on most lists. But number 7, I think that's perfect.
Yeah, I agree. They're scared of him. Teddy, now this is what I don't understand. Triple G has the same argument, or Guillermo has the same argument as Triple G.
Different. I'm paid by Guillermo.
All right.
I'm not paid by Triple G.
Okay, moving on.
Number 6, that short little Mexican kid.
Actually,
Gonzalez.
not Mexican, but okay, we'll run with that.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't even know if he won his last fight.
Andrew, let me get it correct. The guy that I personally referred to as nobody gives a shit about because he's a flyweight.
Yeah.
Those were my exact words, if you want to get them correct. He's number 6 on my list. Why? Because he's been undefeated since he was a sperm in his father's penis.
Hey, that's true. He actually beat millions of other ones to the egg. You're actually right about that.
Correct.
Yeah. Good knowledge, Teddy. Good knowledge.
Number 5, Sergey Kovalev. Even though he lost in the biggest fight possible, I still think he deserves to be on this list. Would you like to know why? He got paid. I got paid.
I like Kovalev. Maybe he's a little high on your list, but he's still top 10. That was a very close fight to Ward. It was decided by 1 point. Bring it back. Have him do it again.
Number 4. One time, Keith Thurman. I've been on this guy's jockstrap for a very long time, Andrew. I am a fan of Keith Thurman. Then I stopped getting paid by the PBC. I'm just saying, he will probably not be on my list next month.
Listen, Keith Thurman, I like him too, Teddy.
Number 10 on most lists.
Yeah, he's just a little bit too high. He really hasn't fought in the competition, say even of a Sergey Kovalev. Sergey Kovalev's fight versus Andre Ward trumps anything Keith Thurman has done. So I just think he's a little high. He would probably be where Spence Jr. is. You're correct, number 10.
Now the part of the list that seems to be getting me the most trouble. I don't understand why. Number 3, Andre Ward. Now I'm going to tell you why Andre Ward's only number 3, Andrew.
Okay.
Because I don't think that he won against Sergey Kovalev. Therefore, he's number 3. Let me use some more keywords. He has talent, he has technique, he has time, and he has competition. But he only rates number 3 because I still think Sergey beat him. I know that makes no sense, but trust me. That's the way I think.
Yeah, so you're going off your opinion and not actually what facts.
Because I know more about boxing than everyone.
Yeah, but you really can't do that there, Teddy. You can't. You got to stick with facts, man. You got to stick with what's on the paper. Andre Ward, you know what?
It's hard to keep doing that voice.
You know what pisses me off about this, Lee? Vasily Lomachenko has 7 wins, 1 defeat.
Andrew, you're jumping ahead on my list.
Well, because they come together. I'm going to let you finish your list, and then I'll tell you what's wrong with it.
Number 2, the greatest boxer who's never fought anybody, Terrence Crawford. In my brain, he is definitely pound for pound the best. But since he hasn't fought anybody, and this is an imaginary list made up in fantasy land, I will only put Terrence Crawford at number 2, which leaves the top spot for, in my brain, the number 1 fighter, even though he has never fought anybody of that caliber, Vasily Lomachenko. I just like saying Lomachenko.
Yeah, a lot of people have had a hard-on for this guy.
Mind with number 1 and number 2. Like, I have not seen a single top 10 list where number 1 was Vasily Lomachenko and number 2 was Terrence Crawford. That list doesn't exist anywhere in America.
Yeah, Terrence Crawford, 2 biggest, is Victor Postol and Gamboa, maybe, are the 2 biggest names. That's just not number 3 top in the world.
Clearly my stroke is affecting me.
He has the style, like you see it in him. You see that Terrence Crawford's one of the best. I don't care who you put him in the ring with. He's probably going to be the favorite going in, even against a Mikey Garcia, a Lomachenko, if he was to move up, or Verdejo, Felix Verdejo, especially on Verdejo's last appearance last weekend. Or was it Friday? It might have been Friday night, last Friday. They're all underdogs to him. So, yes, we see the potential is there for Terrence Crawford to be one of the best top 3 in the world, but he's clearly not there right now with the opposition that he has under his resume. Now, for the first fighter, Vasily Lomachenko, what pisses me off about this argument, Lee, is everyone likes to bring in how many credentials he had as an amateur. There is no way at 7-1 you can say, oh, just by this guy's professional frame of work, he is the best fighter in the world. There's no freaking way Lomachenko is at that. So they always bring in, oh, well, he's a 2-time Olympian gold medalist. Oh, he had like 700 wins. Why doesn't everyone have that argument for Ward? Andre Ward, okay, is clearly the best fighter in the world. When you bring in his amateur work with his professional, there is no argument here. You are
By the way, Andrew, because we did post that at the end of the year, I will say this. The only people besides us that thinks Ward should be fighter of the year last year and should be number 1 pound for pound is Andre Ward and Andre Ward's family.